5:14 and 5:30. Roll call. Mr. Diegas,
Present.
Mr. Gonzalez,
Present.
Mrs. Diane,
Present.
and Mrs. Dumbledore.
Present.
All governing bodies are present. Discussion, proposed agenda items for upcoming regular meeting and review of various topics by the governing body.
Okay, I'm going to let Mr. Salcedo speak.
Howdy.
Before we start.
Okay, my name's Ted Salcedo, and I'm a representative of Special Olympics New Mexico. I'm the Cibola County coordinator. I've been doing it here for 6 years. I live in Laguna, New Mexico, but I also Cibola County, and we're raising money to send our athletes and their families to Farmington and New Mexico next weekend for a state meet, softball and golf, and they play flag football and stuff. So we're just seeing if you know, I know Marcella, and her daughter's also going with us, and we were just wondering if she'd like to donate something towards that, or monetary, or something else. We could we're gonna have a grocery bingo Saturday in Laguna, and it's a good way to help raise money, but mostly raise our money all on our own, and go out and help the community and stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Marcella.
I am in the budget if you want, I can do that, and that doesn't really take an action item. I just always like them to ask you first.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, that's.
Yeah, thank you.
And that was the Special Olympics.
Special Olympics,
And this is to go to
Farmington, New
Farmington.
Mexico, for Four Corners Invitational, they call it.
And is it for a couple of days? Or?
Yes, it'll be
Is
for a
that the
couple
Connie
days.
Mac?
No, this is Special Olympics,
Special
and
Olympics.
it's
Okay.
it's from all over New Mexico, so there'll be teams from all over New Mexico. And there they have like some
Yeah.
700 athletes or something like that.
Have you provided funding for them in the past?
We haven't.
Okay.
He came this year for the first time.
I think we should.
How many
Yeah, we should.
participants do you have?
We have 8 athletes going now, and then this is softball and golf. So some of them are playing golf, and most of them are playing softball. But like my nephew right here, he's been playing for quite a while in golf. So we do a 9-hole, me and him, and then we have other individuals do a 9-hole. Then the next day we do softball, and that's half Special Olympians athletes, and then their families or their partners to help them out on the field. So it's a pretty big event.
That's good.
And then they have
Yeah, we
different
should.
events throughout the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Camille went to UNM, I think, didn't she?
Just for basketball.
And she did run and she
I think
threw
we should.
something.
Yeah.
We keep them, I try to keep them busy all year round from here and there. Then next in the fall sports, they'll do bowling, basketball. We go to Las Cruces for basketball. This year they're not going to do it because it's getting kind of expensive to go down that way. All the people
Kinda
come up
far.
here. So we bowl in Santa Ana, the Star Casino up there. And then we do running in Albuquerque, and we do running, and then they do bocce ball and volleyball. So we keep them busy all year round.
I think that's a good thing.
I think
When,
it's good. I
when
think
is
we
the
should.
event?
It starts next Friday.
Next Friday.
And then it's for Friday, they'll play golf all day, and then that evening they'll have opening ceremonies. And they bring in just like the regular Olympics, they bring in with a torch, and they start the torch, and the games start, and it's really awesome.
How much have you raised?
So far, we've raised like 600-700, something like that.
How much do you need?
With everything, we've paid 600 into, because we pay for their to registration and stuff like that. So each participant, we pay $30 for them. So we've already paid like $300 into that. Then the hotels and stuff for that are like about 1,000. So we raised so far like 600-700, something like that, 800. So whatever you can give, that's fine. That's why we're having, we always really try to raise money to that.
I think maybe let her look into it and see how.
I think we can,
Yeah.
at least for the first year, because there may be other competitions, we can give
500?
We should.
You think
That's
that'll
fine.
help?
That's good,
Oh,
that's
that
good.
really helps.
Very
500, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's,
that's good.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've heard about the torch run that the police department, they run through all the state carrying the torch and stuff. And then we like that in Albuquerque, and that's a big deal. They raise like, I think almost like $500,000 for the state, and it all gets dispersed to all the communities in New Mexico. So it's New Mexico.
Is this guy living in one? In Grants?
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
We appreciate it.
okay.
Everything helps.
Well, good luck.
Well, thank you. And
Okay.
They will bring a medal.
yeah.
we usually do.
Number two.
We have some good athletes.
Okay.
It's fun to watch.
As long as they go and
It
compete,
is
have fun.
neat to watch
Yeah.
them.
We
Yeah,
don't
because
have
most of
much
them,
here
yeah, most of
for
them, they
that.
can't compete in the schools.
Yeah.
So this will give them a chance to compete, you know, throughout the year on their own and with their partners and family members to help with them. So it's a good.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Okay.
Well, this is Michael. This is my nephew.
Hi.
That's why I got involved with the special.
That's good, Joe.
It's Mike. He's a golfer.
Good luck.
Thank you, good luck to you.
Oh, he wants to play.
Amen.
He usually prays for when we start
Thank you, Mike.
competitions. They usually call him up, so he's already used to it.
Okay.
He knows the routine already. Good.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
We'll see you. Thank you,
Bye.
Michael. We had an appeal from the 3 people that we had sent out condemnations on. So we had been real busy with the other, and we need to discuss this at the meeting and set up hearings for them. So, I don't know if you wanna, I don't know what dates Bruce would have, but we need to, unless you wanna wait till the meeting and come with dates, and then we can set up a date for the hearing for them. Cause we did put that option in there, so we need to award them a hearing, so we can move forward one way or the other. So that will be on the agenda, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
And then we have the normal HUD and CDBG resolutions. We have the resolution to provide the housing and urban development to help foster economic development. We have the resolution to the fair housing policy, and we have the resolution for the citizen participation plan for CDBG. And the anti-displacement, all of those are to do with CDBG, and we do those every time we have a CDBG project. And we have to adopt them every year. And then we have the resolution, the ICIP, and we had our last meeting this week. Our ICIP is due September 2nd. And we will be deleting off of last year's, well, the municipal court, we financed, so we took it off. The floodplain mitigation, we can take it off, we've been awarded money. We have broadband, we have motel, we still have the lift station at Norgate. We have the Advanced Technical Learning Center, but we can take that off because we've already taken care of that. And we have other phases of uranium, motel, and then down the line we have curb and gutter north side. When we grow up, a kiddie pool. We put a renovation of a central maintenance facility, the one we purchased, but that's way down on the list because we are doing other things first. And we have a new jetter purchase in the future. They've still got this one running and they've been able to maintain it. We have the Rio San Jose Legacy Trail so that we can support the other entities and the library to support the other entities. They put a high lift purchase, and those all go down the line. The ones they look at maybe are the first 5. But you noticed at the meeting, they don't care if it's number 30, if it's on here, they'll look at it. So we can you know, way at the bottom when we grow up, a new city hall.
Yeah.
And that's last on the list. But hey, we do have a wastewater treatment plant, but I don't know that we're large enough to facilitate one. So that stays on the bottom because you never know what's gonna happen. And we still have a golf course purchase, cause if that ever becomes available at a reasonable price, we can work with it. But I'm not ready to get ripped.
Yeah.
You know, so, and pretty much everybody was in consensus. There was a gentleman here, and he only requested, and we're doing that with our co-ops already, addressing the smaller streets with lights and, you know, he said a speed bump. I said, I can take care of that right now, the lights and the speed bumps. I said, the sidewalk and the other, it's gonna come slowly with those co-ops, cause we're back to doing that. So, everybody pretty much agrees. The flooding, these projects seem like they're just for certain, but that's the flooding. And we're trying to take care of that. That is very important. So, we're gonna get this ready, and if I can have it ready, it'll be, I need it for September 2nd, so it has to be pretty much ready. We have, the amendment to the traffic ordinance. We get that every year from the state, and if we want to change our fees according to what they give us, we have to pass that resolution. So we have that, or that ordinance, we have that. Keith might wanna speak on the Milan Junior Volunteer Fire Department.
I don't know if I gave you all that at the last meeting, if you went through it, had any questions, pretty much what we're gonna do by the procedures and everything. And I did talk to the insurance company, and as long as they're sanctioned by us at a requirement, training or anything that is a fire department required or funded, they will be covered on the insurance that I already pay with no additional premium. So, unless y'all have questions over what we designed or anything. We've got some other things cooking, because just to give you a little history, 2017 we'll be hosting Tri-State. It'll be in Albuquerque next year, then Gallup, then here. So we will be coming up with that. This will give us a chance to get these members in. Let's do that. If we can do that. They came home with one trophy, and women got a trophy in Cortez earlier in the month. So unless y'all have any questions to that, I'm gonna see if we can vote on it and let us know to do it. We wanna come up, try to start another ladies auxiliary. We're looking at maybe doing a hydrant adoption in town, that the residents adopt a hydrant to keep it clean, and we'll have some requirements on that. Paint it up, if they wanna paint it like the Minions or whatever, as long as we leave the cap the color by NFPA, you can do that. So we're looking at pretty much anything you want, as long as the cap's gotta stay a certain color by NFPA requirements to tell us how much water that thing puts out. But I mean, the rest of the base and everything will be whatever color you want it to be.
Okay.
Dalmatian, whatever. I know there's a Dalmatian by my house. So, but that's the things we're looking at down the road that we're gonna try to come up with too. So I'll have to see if, what we gotta do for y'all's approval and any of that stuff too.
Probably Clay Street will be all saints. All the fire hydrants on Clay Street will have a saints
So
emblem
who's
on
gonna
it.
have St. Vivian?
No, the saints, or New Orleans
Oh.
saints.
That's fine, as long as the cap, the top cap's
They run
gonna
the
stay a
seats,
certain
yeah.
color for the pressure that's
The
out.
cup, well, I went to make these yesterday, and they had the whole rack, and this guy came in, I want a Cubs, and I want, it wasn't the Saints, what's the other one that you always hear? There was a football,
Cowboys.
no, it wasn't even a Cowboy, it was another one, and he ordered 3 different ones, cause he was giving a key to 3 different people, and it was what they, even keys now.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. That's why I say Clay Street will have a saints emblem on it.
Okay, that would be yours, right? And then we have, the approval of the real estate purchase agreement between the Village of Milan and NGL Crude Terminals. We expect to close that on September the
September what?
second.
Great.
So, and it's both parcels.
Good.
Is
Was
it-
everybody headed together?
And then, we are having a closed session for, land acquisition. It's between land acquisition and litigation, okay? And then we have a resolution for IRBs. And if you remember, you passed a resolution a while back just saying that you would agree to, depending on case-by-case basis, offer IRBs as incentive. We're going to pass a resolution saying we will entertain the idea of helping this company with an IRB for some of their costs. And that doesn't affect our September second closing. This is for something afterwards, okay? And then, I think that's all Teresa gave me. I have, okay, I gave you that one.
Can I say a couple of things so I can go?
No.
I have to go back next door. I just wanted to let you know
You
that
were afterwards
We're
on
keep-
citizens' comments. Okay.
Keith and I are keeping an eye on the ditches with the rain we've been having. It seems to be, now Roundy Pond is full, and it's not going out there at a real high rate or anything like that. And the ditches seem to be okay through town. So if you get any comments or complaints from any of the citizenry, just tell them that we're watching it and we're addressing it as, there's a few places where it bottlenecks that we're keeping an eye on, but for the most part, it seems to be okay. The only other thing was, school started yesterday. I was out there just more as a precaution than anything up on 66. Seems to me that we're having the same issue this year as we've had in years past, and that they're lining up in the afternoons. In the morning, it's more of an even flow going in from 66, but in the afternoons, they start lining up at about 10-15 minutes after 2, and then they line up by probably 20 after 2 yesterday. They were already backed up to the highway. So I went ahead and did the cones and did the traffic control and just routed everybody to go down by the drilling company and come back up and get in that right-hand lane. And then today I just monitored it, and people seemed to, they remembered and picked up on it. So hopefully I'm gonna watch it for a while though, just because with the new parents and things like that. Traffic wasn't as heavy today as it was yesterday, but I think because of the first day of school and all, that was the cause of that.
And kindergarten starts tomorrow.
I thought kindergarten started the 19th.
Well, kindergarten starts tomorrow, pre-K starts the 19th.
I guess I'll be back out with
So
homes tomorrow.
tomorrow is going to be a busy
Okay,
day.
all right. You gonna help me?
If you need it, tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you said that then, because
Yeah.
I was thinking next week, so,
No.
okay. Okay,
Well, show up the bells on.
thank you. That's it, thank you.
Okay?
I gotta go brief.
I received our annual letter from Waste Management, and I'm gonna put it up, I'm gonna post it and put it up. The rate chart reflects a CPI increase of 2.1%. So our garbage will be going up 2.1%. Cause we tie it to CPI and take our percentage. Instead of going in and figuring it out, if I take what we have figured and just add the 2.1, that's only the garbage. The water will be going up 10%. But we go according to the ordinance. I think that's closer to December or January. Okay. And we're getting closer, so once we get that in place, we can tie it to CPI plus 5% and it'll work like everything else. The garbage works. This really works by doing this. They increase us, they tied it to CPI, and that's what they're increasing us. So that's what we're increasing our bill. Our fees already reflected in there. This was the ICIP. Bruce asked me if I wanted to update you that NGL now wishes to acquire both parcels that they talked about. And it'll be roughly 237 acres, total purchase price of $950,000. And we will have, as an action item, a separate purchase agreement for parcel C or a revised purchase agreement for both parcels, and we have that in. They're also going to need to encroach onto a portion of parcel A, the acre that we retained for well B49. But that's not a big issue. We can reconfigure, because it's very minimal. And we can, I mean, if it's anything that's a little more, we will bring approval. Otherwise, that's what's going to happen. As an action item, there will be an inducement and resolution for NGL. And that is for the IRB stuff that they're going to want to be working on. The IRBs will, and all you're saying is that you'll talk, okay? That will all need to be negotiated. So you'll decide what you want to do with them. But all you're telling them here in this resolution is that you will negotiate, okay? It's not anything other than that. You could be looking at payment in lieu of taxes or anything else. You know, it just depends. The one thing we always try to protect is the stones. Just so you know that. We always, so that they don't lose their funding because we forgive. And that's a lot where a lot of people do, but that is all to be negotiated, okay? Also, on August the 20th, George, Bruce, and I will be going to Socorro. It's an all-day negotiation. It's just a negotiation on the water rights. And they've been negotiating with Laguna Pueblo, the Acoma Pueblo. A lot of people, I guess. Bruce has been a part of it, but we are a part of it now. So he said, and how are you budgeting to replace it?
Wow. Well, that's exactly what I'm thinking, you know.
And that's,
It's, I mean, you almost need to have like a.
yeah, I mean, we've been real
data on
proactive.
everything, you know, everything down there.
We
there
have
should be
been real
dates
proactive
and-
in trying to do
Yeah.
that.
I know it's
But,
a big chunk,
but it's hard, so
Yeah.
we need to get it in there so we can plan for it.
yeah. It's almost like that.
And
Input
and
all
another
that
thing
data.
we also need to start planning for, and we need to find a way to fund it. And I'll tell you what the city of Grants does is they add $1 to their water bill
Well,
in order to pay for all those demolitions they're doing on the bad properties.
really,
There's no other way to fund
probably
it
not.
unless you pay for it,
Yeah.
if you can. But I know that's what they did. And I don't know what other entities have done. I know, I don't see that there's money out there to do it. So we need to start thinking, let's say, now, I don't know about the properties we're looking at, but if it was something like the Roaring Twenties that might need professional
Right.
people to come in, how are we gonna pay for that? So we could say, okay, if these properties we can do ourselves or find a way to do these, do we put every year so much in a fund until it builds enough? Or are we going to ask the citizens if they're willing to take some of that on?
Yeah.
I mean, we could survey them, but that's how they pay for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it all comes down to, if you want it clean, you've got to pay for it, no matter if you're a citizen or the government. I hate to say that, but
Yeah.
that's what it is. So we need to start, thinking, right now, I think the properties we have, we know how we can deal with them. But if it came to something big, like we're gonna make part of our contract for them to bring down the village maintenance building, and I think they put down for one of those metal Morgan buildings to replace it on the same slab. Well, it doesn't need any utilities, so we can handle that. But they didn't wanna make it part of the contract because that contract has federal funding. And I don't know what's up there. It's a metal building, but is there asbestos insulation?
Yeah.
and I have to find that before, and it would have taken too long. So that's things we have to think about. I also received the letters yesterday, the contracts for the MAP appropriations that we received from the state. And that, they allocated $287,416. And that's part of the motel project, okay? They sent all these copies and all of them have to be signed. And I send them all back, and then they sign them and send us our copies. I don't know why, but that's what they want. So, I don't know if you wanna look for pages or wait, and I'll find them here in a little bit. And then, lastly, they met with, Senator Sanchez and Senator Munoz, Dr. Space, Eileen, I wanna say Bruce, met all on a conference call regarding the complex, the recreation complex. And Dr. Space understands, and he said, it's not a bad concept, but right now, the board is extremely focused on the Laguna Acoma field. With that
Yeah, I
money,
knew that.
and if they apply for that grant, it's just the one project. So they're gonna do that field, and maybe in the future, we could do this. So what I've done is, I told Bill, go ahead and put in sprinklers. Okay, I called the guys and said, you tell me, all you're gonna do is order the parts to get from the service, or from the water line to the park. Bill will put in the sprinklers, I need to know the cost, and I think Bill budgeted for some of that. I told him he could plant grass, we could look into buying some sod. We got one quote, and this is with us laying it, okay? If we get it from the farm and we pick it up, it's 49 cents a square foot. But it's extremely heavy. It would be hard for you to do. If we get it delivered from Albuquerque, it is 61 cents a foot, which is not bad. Now, if we pick it up in Albuquerque, it's for 4 acres, it's $106,000. If we let them, well, 115, because I'm gonna let them deliver it. There's no way I'm going to, because it's too heavy. What I told him, and we're looking at, they gave us a quote for bluegrass and fescue, and they said fescue is the grass you want to put on a field, and the price is the same. So what I told Bill is I would come to you and see if to start, they could figure out, and maybe we could do half of it, and plant the other half and see how it works. And if not, maybe later we could look at trying to sod it. Or we could just plant it. You tell me what you want to do. Because I'm still hoping that if we can get monies or a grant, and George and Clemente said they would see if there was other fundings, but if the school doesn't use this, it would be very nice, and we could, for turf, and then we'd be taking it out, although we could take it out and put it at the other parks. So it's not like we would lose it. But I don't know if you're interested in pursuing this or not. If you want him to just try planting it, because we've got the year, they're playing over there for this year. But we need to get everything else going. So, I don't know what you want to pursue. If you want him to pursue planting it and see if we can't get it up for him, and then wait and see if we can turf it, that's, I want you to think about that. Nothing we have to think about right now. He's gonna go ahead and put in sprinklers, because he's gonna need them either way. And that'll take him a while, but think about how you'd want to pursue this. Okay, the fence looks nice though.
It does look nice.
Even the covering where it's not programmed, he said you can't hardly feel the wind. Because I told him to get the heavy duty, very nice.
It looks good.
So I want you to think about that. I thought I'd bring it to you now. And we've got you've seen all the drawings, different, you know, whatever, but we could try that, or we could just tell him try grass, and then let's see if we can't work on artificial turf, and maybe we can, you know? It wouldn't be a whole complex, but maybe we could work on turf another way, and do the complex ourselves, and still make it reasonably nice, you know? But that, I want you to think about that, and, you know, give me your thoughts in the future, and we'll see what we do with it.
If we planted it, it wouldn't be all that much. I would think that maybe with that fence that way, it keeps the sand and wind from blowing so bad, it might come up pretty good.
Well, and it may, I can't.
It wouldn't hurt to try some of it, anyway.
Yeah, that's why I told him we could try a little bit, or we could sod a little bit and plant more, or just think about what you want him to do. You want him to try a little bit, you want him to plant it all, just how do you want to pursue this? Because I'm still gonna see if we can't look for funding somewhere. If we wait for the schools, maybe that's a good chance, but that would be the whole complex. If we've already put some turf, we just add to it, so that still won't be bad. But just how do you want, you know, he is gonna put in the sprinklers, because we're gonna need them if we sod it anyway. And I'll need water there if I have a complex for bathrooms, so, you know, I'm good with that, but think about what you think, okay?
And I talked to Mr. Thayer today, he was at the school,
Mm-hmm.
and he said that, you know, they're sending out and to raise money,
They are.
and, he's hoping that they get a lot of donations.
He
But
is.
he said if they, you know, if it came down to it, he said they could probably play like half, and then someplace else half next year, if they had to.
Well,
So,
if we plant it,
yeah,
even if we plant it, we should be ready.
yeah.
And if we put sod on part of it and plant, we should be ready. That's why I have
what
Bill
I'm
working.
thinking we should
This is
do.
the letter that he showed me, the letter he's handing out
Yeah.
to ask for donations. And he's just saying that they're looking for somewhere to play soccer, and we have volunteered a solution, and they're looking for $100,000, is what they're trying to raise. So I think, and he only put August the 15th, but I think he meant next year, and they don't know that. If he meant this year, it would be great. It probably wouldn't be ready. Well, it might. Anyway, that's his letter,
Yeah.
and it's a good letter. So I know that they're trying, and he has different sponsorships. He has, for just somebody, a bronze level is $50, silver $100, gold $500, platinum $1,000, corporate bronze $1,000, corporate silver $5,000, and corporate gold is $10,000, and any other contribution amount. You know, that's fair. That kind of opens it up for anybody, even if they just want a little bit. Okay. And he does have, they are tax-free, he gives them a number, so they, you know, they can claim it as such. But he gave me a copy of what he was handing out, so. I thought I'd bring that up because I keep this folder out, I'm not putting it away, we're still working, we're doing our best. Just so you know, I called and ordered, pumpkins. There's no, Corley didn't get his part yet, I don't think, so I ordered 1,500 pumpkins, okay? And,
We need to decide on
That's-
a date.
that's right here, we
Yeah.
need a date, and are we gonna combine them? That's been I've had questions, are we combining like we did last year, or are we gonna, we did last year because we didn't have a choice, but this year you can say I'm doing Halloween and then I'm doing a fall festival, or you can combine them, and I just need to know what you wanna do, and then we'll look at some dates.
I don't know, I think we should combine them,
Yeah, we
but
should
I don't
combine them.
know that.
Combine them and that's it.
I think you're right. Combine them and make
Make
a
it
large,
bigger.
Yeah.
and
inclusive for everyone.
Yeah, because we did the pumpkins and we did a chili cook-off the
Yeah.
same day.
Yeah.
And, you know, so what date? October, then is it before, because we do pumpkins, it's got to be before October 31st. Well, because Halloween's Friday. So, 25th, 18th,
25th is a good date.
Yeah. I think before July.
and it's gonna be a combination.
Mhm.
And Jose wanted to know if we're gonna do a car show. We want
We
to do a
could,
car
yeah.
show.
That's what I was thinking, if you're gonna combine everything,
Yeah.
you could,
Pumpkin and fall
Yeah.
festival,
Mhm.
yeah,
okay, cause Main Street was asking,
I think it'd be
so
better.
that they wouldn't,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
piggyback on
And
what we were doing.
Carrot cake,
Carrot cake.
carrot cake contest.
Yeah.
Oh, I would win that one.
Helen Miller would win
No,
it.
I
I was just
yeah.
asked already. Do you remember Helen Miller from the bank? Big Helen, we used to call her.
Yeah, okay,
At First National, there was a little Helen, and
yeah,
Helen Miller was Big Helen.
well, you know, I mean, with,
She made the best carrot cakes.
you know, I mean, with,
Die for.
and we're all about carrots here, right, and so, whatever
Oh,
we
and by
do-
the way, that's if Cordy, we're doing a carrot field.
Okay,
Mhm.
We are doing it this year, and this year I took it away from the guys that are busy, and I told
so
Cordy,
they've got carrots planted now, or
no, he said it's a short season, we'll
Okay.
have them.
it's a short season, we'll have them?
Oh, we
It-
planted carrots?
He's going to, it doesn't take as long as all the others.
Okay.
So we
okay.
have time to plant them.
Good,
He's ordered
good,
the seed
good,
already,
good.
okay?
Yeah,
That's a good idea. And we've already got the stuff for, we had a little booth last year, and I don't know, there was a few kids that stayed all day because they liked it, but not everybody else knew, so I need to make sure I make banners or something saying, decorate your pumpkin, or, because we let them decorate them and then take them, or we had beads for them to play with beads, something for the kids to do. And I still have stuff for that, so we'll do that again, and I had coloring and everything I could think of. But we also made a lot of money on the cakewalk.
Cakewalk. Yeah.
Oh my God. And we didn't charge much, 50 cents. Then we thought, okay, well, we'll go to $1, we don't know. You wouldn't believe the people.
They like the cakewalk. That's,
So,
Carrot cake.
well, but, you know, I mean, you have a cakewalk, and then you have
well, no, you have a contest.
yes, that's what I was
the bomb.
thinking, yeah, well, yeah.
And then we're having the chili
Contest.
cook-off,
They do chili cook-off and all
and
that.
then we have the
and
salsa.
And also carrot cake contest.
That's what I put.
Yeah.
So that's a good
Since
idea.
we're all
Anything
about
else?
Carrots.
And we have car show.
yeah, Jose had asked about the
Anything
car show,
else?
and I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And you know,
It goes
I hear
with
Archie
it.
Benz are trying to sell,
they already did.
so who bought it?
Somebody at house.
Oh, so they're not probably gonna be here.
Well, they might, because now they're doing shaved ice. That's the only thing they're doing, is shaved ice.
That's not the bestest season for
I
sure.
know.
I mean, I like shaved ice myself.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
But I can, what did we say, the 20th? The 25th?
25th.
I can ask, I mean, I can let her know.
Well, we can advertise it too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because we don't
advertise it.
charge.
yeah, true.
It's not like we charge them a fee,
Mhm.
because we just want it for all the people. So anything that you can think, because you know, a lot of the kids do a lot of their fundraisers then. We have people selling jewelry. That's all fine. We have plenty of space. We have the canopies. And that's
You know, maybe with the car show, we could do it across the street at the school, in that parking area there by the cafeteria. It'd be on pavement and
Yeah.
they could
Well-
walk across to the car show.
But I was
It's
gonna
not
do
big
it
enough.
back at Kearns. Because
Oh,
the
okay.
carrot.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah.
carrot field, I
Yeah.
forgot we have the carrots.
Yeah.
That's right.
If
Yeah,
Kearns
that's great.
says, the plugs, have you seen Grant?
Hmm.
They put in the plugs. I keep looking.
Did it work? Oh, we don't know.
They did. They only let them have so much, so they put grass, but they put the plugs in. And I keep telling you, I drive by, but it's too muddy. I've never gotten down. I said, I have plugs coming up, that's what I did with the carrots all year last year, I never found carrots. But if it's workable, we'll be back at current.
Oh, okay.
And then we can
Then
put up,
we'll have everything.
we'll have
That's probably
everything.
fine then.
and we can put a volleyball thing, just something for the
Yeah.
kids to do.
Yeah.
Cause I actually think instead of the jumper, we should do a volleyball.
That way we can burn Loomis that night too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cause we do that
What
too.
Gallup
Be
did,
that
they
whole thing.
combined a whole bunch.
So
We-
I
we
think,
did
I think
too.
it's right, I think to me it makes, good logic, you do it all, make it big, and do it all at one time,
Yeah.
instead of having two or three.
Yeah.
Cause people
meetings
get
with-
tired of coming to each one.
That's-
Well, I don't know, they asked me for both,
Yeah.
they don't get that, we get tired,
Mhm.
they don't.
Yeah.
But, yeah, then Bill's looking for a project, I'm gonna tell him it's time for Loomis, and Val will get busy. Anything else you think of? You know, I'll get this stuff together and we'll start, and I'll tell Main Street.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else? Anything?
No.
Well, that's quite a bit if we get.
That's
to
a
do that.
lot.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
a lot.
lot.
You know, we have to figure out how to split it because we have pumpkins in the day and the other things we usually do in the evening.
Mhm.
But like the stands don't matter,
Mhm.
we'll just, okay.
And you still have nice autumn weather, you know,
Yeah.
it's almost up until Halloween and then it starts to get cold, but.
One year, it was wicked. It was
Froze.
really wicked, and we were diehards,
Stuck
I
it out,
guarantee you.
froze.
God, it was wicked. I don't think I have anything else. If anybody has anything else that they want on there, anything you want me to look at, and unless something else comes in, we're still within our 72 hours, so we can add it. But right now, that's all I have.
Are you gonna have your microphones hooked up yet?
We never
You
have.
should. Cause people would come in claim they can't hear.
I've never heard it.
I have.
I have never heard it. I'm hearing it because they can't hear George. But I will fix them. I had Michael look at them already. They're, none of them are matching, so we're struggling to see what goes with what. We found some boxes, but nobody has complained. And Teresa, I just told her to put it where she could hear it for her minutes, and we're good. But I will, we are working on it anyway,
Good.
okay? That's how we discovered the 3 different systems and what goes where and how does it work. Well, it'll come.
Okay, if no one else has anything,
Okay.
announcements, planning and zoning,
Roseanne has one.
I'm sorry to interrupt,
that's
but
fine.
I was at the hospital board meeting, and they're planning their banquet for the 25th.
And that's their fundraiser. That's their big fundraiser.
So that's what they discussed. It wasn't a definite thing at their July meeting, and they won't meet again until later this month. But you were talking about, you know, evening, like burning Loomis and that kind of stuff. I just, citizen input, okay? Not to tell anybody one way or the other.
Okay.
Well, do you wanna think about it till next, meeting,
Well, you could think about, come back with the 18th or the 25th.
that'll give us a chance to see
Who,
what we.
who does the banquet?
Marcy Chavez is their public relations
Oh,
person.
So I could call her.
Mhm.
And
Oh, yeah.
she's coordinated, she made a presentation at the hospital board meeting, and they have their banquet every other year.
Yeah.
And they seem to lean toward October as a good time, and they were discussing the last Saturday in October. So it was tentative, I didn't hear any board action, right, you know, real decision-making, but it looked like they were leaning in that.
I'll
So,
call her.
yeah, that would be a good person to
I mean,
check
I won't
with.
call her and say, don't do it.
No.
But I'll call her and
And
tell
find
her,
out when.
we were looking at that and
Yeah,
I just need to know if they are,
Right.
or you know, how,
Yeah.
mine is tied to pumpkins, that's why I'm looking at it,
Right.
and see what she says. I'll try, and we'll bring it back to the board.
We could have a pumpkin pie contest too.
Yeah, the more the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, pies are good.
Say a pumpkin pie throwing contest?
No,
No, but pies. Might
They,
do
uh,
that.
We have that chunkin pumpkin, or whatever they
oh
call it.
no,
Oh, I've always wanted to.
I don't want to chunk a pumpkin.
Remember the first year we did
I'd have to
pumpkins,
bring a
we
flock
did
of
the
chickens
pumpkins,
over to
the
clean
Yeah.
it up, and
bad
then
ones
clean
we
up
do.
after them.
Yeah, we did that one year.
Yeah.
Only, we just had a board with a hole around
Yeah.
it.
And they tried it another year,
threw
but
the small ones in there.
it wasn't,
It was
Yeah.
fun for the kids.
Yeah, the kids liked it,
no.
because we had a bunch of small bad ones that year, so they,
You wanna do that, George?
Sounds kinda
I'm
fun.
not gonna do that.
I always thought we should build a catapult so that we could have pumpkins. Can I ask Val if he'll do that?
You can ask Val. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I think, we're on a good path. If anybody else has suggestions that we can do and make it nice, that'd be fun.
Yeah, we can always add to it as we get closer to
The conference, you're going, you're registered and you have a room. You have a room. No, you don't have a room.
I don't have room.
You didn't want a room, but you're going.
Yeah, I do want a room.
You got a room for one night and you
Yes.
got a room for all of it. Okay?
Yeah, one night.
And it will.
And I'm going, but I'm not taking a room. I'm gonna come back or stay at my daughter's. Cause I was going
So we're
just
only going
for
for 2
the
nights.
2
2
days.
days, I thought we were only going for the 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're only going for 2 days. Wasn't it?
Whatever you told
Okay.
Teresa, she booked for me.
Okay, yeah, that's what she's
Okay.
got, that's what she's got.
I'm going
2 days
on,
and one night?
She's got, no, we got 2.
I am going on the 27th and 28th. But I don't have to be there at 8 if, I mean, I was planning on it. Because Bruce just pretty much set up a meeting for me on the 27th that I can't get out of. So I told him to do it in the morning and I would go in later. And that's regarding all this. And let me tell you what Bruce is doing for us. John Sorrell, the person that did the water study, and Charlie Harding are sitting together and getting all the information from us, from what they've done on all of our wells and putting it in the binder. Because part of the fight we're having is holding on to our water rights. And that'll help us, because they've not been dormant, we've been working on them. We just work on them as we can, we don't go out and say, give me $1 million. So they're putting something together that will have kind of your asset management thing. I mean, we know what we've done, but then
Right.
I haven't been here for all of it, but they're putting together something for us, and Charlie's been the one to do a lot of that, so they're gonna sit with us. But, and I have a meeting.
So that's where if you don't use it, you lose it.
I think we're gonna take care of that anyway,
Yeah,
with the things we have coming. But then, at one time, we had agreed to sell a little bit of water rights, because we do have more than we need. But, we agreed to help San Rafael, and then they never came across, I don't know what they did. And, we had asked the city of Grants, and they said, oh, no, they didn't need any, and then later they were looking for some. So, I don't know, that's still, let's finish all this stuff in Socorro and find out where we stand,
yeah,
because the property we're selling now is going with, they don't want the water rights.
right. We want,
that.
we
Yeah,
do.
we're keeping the water rights.
But you
Right.
can only keep them if you use them.
Well, we'll figure out a way to use it.
Well, we are doing that too.
Waste more
We're
money.
looking at,
Yeah.
in fact, I'm looking for a tractor. At least an 80 horsepower. And we're gonna plant, but we're gonna try maybe an acre of switchgrass, because we don't know how that'll grow here. It grows real nice, but it's real humid where it grows.
Yeah.
And if it works, we can help facilitate the biomass and the Mount Taylor Millworks. And then they're gonna plant like maybe oats. They're gonna plant on it, and we'll be using water rights for that. But I don't know how we could use all of them. We have a lot. And these people are taking enough that, well, you figure that's a pretty big chunk and they don't want water rights. So we'll look at it. But it's not anything that we're doing now anyway. Right now, we're just going to try to, part of the negotiations that are going on in Socorro, and Bruce has mentioned this in the meetings, the tribes are coming and saying, we have senior water rights. And you're using too much water, so we're gonna cut back the water you can use. And they do have senior water rights. So they're negotiating, the city of Grants is a part of this, all the acequias, everybody, I think Laguna Acoma, to see how we can negotiate that. So that we don't have to, that we don't lose. They even did an analysis, and our water usage, according to their figures, is tremendous, and it's not. Because when we did the figures, we got a much lower figure, and even seemed high for us, but I don't know if you think it would be negotiable. I don't have anything else. I don't know if anyone else does, or I can't think of anything.
Anymore. Okay, announcements for planning and zoning board meeting on Thursday, August the 14th at 5:30. Regular board of trustees meeting on Thursday, August the 21st at 5:30. Motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn, executive session.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you again for.